I think I'm not really surprised at this moment. Typically, during a negotiation, somebody walks out. I just want Americans to realize, though, that the ball is in President Biden's court. We gave him a plan several weeks ago. He's insisted to live in this silo. Look, campaigning from a basement may work, but on this particular budget issue, we need leadership from the White House as well. Right now, his far left is pulling him left, pulling him left, pulling him left. They're afraid of the work requirements, something that I think most of us think is reasonable.
Right. So what Democrats have said in the last 24 hours is no to work requirements, accusing the GOP of being unrealistic, and wanting the president to invoke the 14th Amendment, which is quite explosive in this situation where Democrats could just simply go around the Speaker of the House.
Listen, the only two voices in this room that matter are the Speaker of the House and President Biden.
Well, it's a good thing he's in Japan, then.
It may be. Well, you make a great point, and I understand your point. But again, he's trying to negotiate from the basement, in this case, from Japan.
So Senator, I know that everybody has delegates. You know, things happen. We've got war around the world. There are a lot of things that a president has to do. But when the delegates sit down, it's supposed to be exactly what the president would want. We already know he doesn't want to negotiate. Why should we believe anything the delegates would say, these deputies that he's put in the room? We know that at the end, he'd really rather just get his way.
Right. Here's at some point in time, the leader of the free world needs to sit down face to face and have a real conversation with Speaker McCarthy. Only the two of them are going to solve this impasse. He has to stop listening to this radical left that's pushing him further and further left. I mean, the work requirements are pretty simple. 20 hours a week working or education. If you have children, you're immune from them as well. I think they're pretty reasonable. And I think having a job, by the way,
tax-wise immune, that sort of thing.
You don't have to fulfill the 20 hours a week of work requirement if you have children.
Oh. Well, so they're painting this picture like it's going to be something that is unbearable for people. Talk to me about that. And that gets them the benefits that they need.
Right. So first of all, remember my sixth grade teacher, she talked about respect and self-respect. Having a job brings self-respect and dignity. We want to get people a hand up out of poverty, not keep them in poverty. I would do anything in the world, a person that's on Medicaid or getting food stamps right now, I would do anything in the world to help get them an education, to help them get a job, to lift themselves and their children out of that poverty.
Yeah, you know who we've heard say that recently, who's going to announce his candidacy for the White House for the GOP nomination, is Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, in his personal story. I'm so glad you're here. Let's hit another topic. I know that Texas Governor Greg Abbott has announced, and in fact, he was on this program yesterday talking about sending his first busload of illegal immigrants to Denver, some of them wanting to apply for asylum and not getting court dates until 2027. It's the latest Democrat-run city to receive migrants bused from Texas as the state is grappling with its overrun border. Here's Abbott in focus.
Texas National Guard and the Texas Department of Public Safety are now repelling illegal immigrants who are trying to cross the border. Joe Biden was asked about it, I think, yesterday or the day before, and he scoffed about it. But the fact of the matter is there's only one governmental entity in the entire United States of America that is repelling people who are trying to enter illegally, and that's the state of Texas.
Okay, so Senator Marshall just visited the border right before Title 42 ended. He has an op-ed titled, "I visited Biden's broken border and you won't believe what I learned." In fact, you brought us some pictures and video and whatnot to go with it. What did you learn that we wouldn't believe?
Well, I think just the sheer number of people, how our Border Patrol is overwhelmed, that only 10% of them that are actually protecting the border. And the higher ups in our Border Patrol are actually communicating with the Mexican government, coordinating when to bring people across the border. 170,000 people lined up waiting for Title 42 to end. When we pulled up, there was just busload after busload of people being removed from a temporary encampment.
Let me ask you this. Do you have confidence that those busload after busload, that we can vet all those people? Are they becoming some of the gotaways that we talk about that will come into this nation and potentially do crime and do other things? We have no idea who they are.
Well, Harris, in addition to the busloads of people, they had 3,000 gotaways that day. So those 3,000 gotaways were not vetted in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
And they were emptying their temporary housing as well with people that had not been vetted. But no, they're not being vetted. You cannot vet somebody in 24 hours, let alone in 5 minutes.
So you said that 10% of the Border Patrol are able to protect the border. Why not let, and this is what Texas Governor Abbott has done. He's put his own National Guard down there. He's backfilled to actually, you're looking at some of this wiring, and I'm curious, what did you see down there that says our men and women could do more if they just had more help from the federal government?
Okay.
Not just money.
Yep. So I asked the Border Patrol every time I've been down there. This is the 4th time. And this time what the Border Patrol asked for is for Joe Biden to change his policy. They didn't ask for more Border Patrol officers, more resources. They said Joe Biden created this problem. If he would go back to a return to Mexico, remain in Mexico policy, stop the catch and release, that's what's going to solve the problem. Otherwise, we have this beacon of everybody come to America right now.
Senator Marshall, what keeps you up at night on this issue?
Well, it's safety and security. Every day across America, 300 young adults are dying from fentanyl poisoning. My own father, a police officer, is more concerned about their safety and security than they are about inflation. And inflation is absolutely numbing. It's so high. Groceries up 25%. But my parents in my hometown, a former police officer, doesn't feel safe anymore.
Senator Marshall, come back anytime. So glad to have you here on The Miz. Thank you.